Hey crafters, welcome to Creative Moments by G. I'm G, and today we have a fantastic tip for you on Technique Tuesday. We are going to be creating a card that we are doing partial cuts on, and they turn out so pretty. So let's head down to the crafting table and let me show you this card. Look at this card. Do you see how it's partially cut right here? Now this works perfectly if you have dies. However, if you don't have dies, you can still stamp it like I'm going to show you, and you can just fussy cut this area. But it sure makes it a lot easier if you have dies. So let's get busy. The first thing you're going to need is your base card. And this is simply 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. And now you need to decide what dies are you going to use, or what stamp set are you going to use to really create that beautiful cutout area on the side. Now what we're going to use today is Christmas season, because we want to cut out these pine cones with a leaf and then a smaller pine cone, and I think it's going to be beautiful. We haven't done it, but I think it's going to be beautiful. And stay with us to the end, because we have another fall partial cutout card to show you. Let's get our dies and get them placed exactly where we want them on our base card. Now I know that I want my larger pine cone at the top. I want my leaves, kind of about right here. And then I'm going to bring in a smaller pine cone right there. Now we need to go ahead and get this tape down before we put it into our embossing machine. Now, what we don't want to happen is these to move around. So what we're going to use is some removable tape. And we use this highlighter tape. Absolutely love it. You do not have to take it off and put it on your jeans or put it on your blouse to get some of the sticky off. It's already exactly the perfect sticky, and we have never had it not work. So we're going to go ahead and just line this up right there, because we do not want this to move around when we put it in the boss. So let's go ahead and just get this lined up. I'm going to get it right there. And then we're going to use another piece of tape, and we're going to just get our little pine cone right there. Now let me show you how we run this through the boss. I need to back off just a little bit so that you can see it. Let's bring in our machine. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put our plates in there. We're going to put this right on top of our cutting plate. And on this top plate right here, you can see that there's a little ledge right here. And that's where it tapers off. So this is the line to line up where you want to cut it. So we're just going to bring this back. We're going to slip this under. And we're going to line this up right where we need it to stop cutting. So let me just get this lined up. And now simply take it through your machine. Here we have our cut area. We're just going to pull this off. Let's pull each one of these dies off. And now look at that. You see how it's cut away, but it's only cut a partial cut. We want these beautiful images on the side of our card. Now the next thing we want to do is go ahead and get this cut off. Now you can do it one of two ways. You can put it in your trimmer, or you can just take your snips and cut it off. Let's just take our snips and cut that off. So I'm just going to bring this up, and right there I'm just going to snip it and see how this comes off just like that. You can go ahead and just put your snips right in there and cut straight across. And now we have all the areas cut out. Look how pretty that is. But now you can go ahead and you can stamp your image right here. But we want to go ahead and give this more stability. So we are going to cut out our second mat. And that way we're going to put it right on top, and that's really going to give it some stability. And so the way you do that is simply flip it over, line it up as if it's the first mat, line it up right there. We're going to put some tape so that it doesn't move. And we're just going to trace around this so that we know where to place our dies. Just a little bit. You don't have to trace much. And like I said, you don't have to do this step if you don't want to. If you want to go ahead and just stamp straight on this, that's perfectly fine. But this is a little bit unstable, and so we want our card to be a little bit thicker, so we're going to do that. And now simply come back in and line up your dies again. And we're just going to partially cut this. So let's go through the same process. Let's bring in the boss. We're going to get our plates already in there. Lay this landscape so we know exactly where we want to cut it. Let's go ahead and just line this up. Let's take off our dies. Now we're going to come in again with our scissors and cut this off. But as I mentioned earlier, you can bring in an X-Acto knife and just make those cuts for you. Make it very nice. So just snip across. We're going to go ahead and get this side off. I'm going to snip in here. And now we are ready to stamp. Now see how this is going to fit very nicely. And now we are ready to stamp. And let's go ahead and lay down some paper. And the colors we are going to use today are Real Red, Garden Green, Cinnamon Cider, and Soft Suede. So let's go ahead and stamp our pine cones first. Now we are going to stamp the base of the pine cone in Cinnamon Cider. And then we're going to come in with the shadow with our Soft Suede. So tap, tap, tap. And you're going to line that up. Now we're going to bring in our Soft Suede to give it some definition. Look at that. Now we're going to bring in our smaller pine cone right down here. And the same thing, we're using our Cinnamon Cider. Tap, tap, tap. What makes it so nice is these are photopolymer stamp sets. So you can see through them and you can see exactly where to line up. If you use the rubber stamps, it's a little more difficult. Let's go ahead and bring in our definition. And now we're going to stamp our leaves. And now we're going to bring in some other leaves and some other decorations to add to the beauty of this. Now we need to go ahead and bring in crumb cake. Let's bring in some of these little branches just to give it some more decoration. Now we will be stamping our message down here, so we're going to go ahead and leave that blank and just bring in some of these branches. Look at that, so pretty. We're going to stamp some holly so we can bring in our red berries. And now we can add some more leaves just to fill in this area. Okay, and now let's bring in our beautiful Christmas sentiment. Thinking of you this festive season. Now, we're going to go ahead and stamp in red. And bring it right here. Oh my goodness! Look at that stamp set and what we've been able to create. I love this partial cutout. It is so pretty. And remember I said, if you don't have the dies to your favorite stamp set, it doesn't matter. You can fussy cut around this, not to worry. Now let's go ahead and add this to the front of our card. Now I'm going to use some glue that allows me some wiggle room, just in case I need to really get this where I need it. So we're using Kalel, and if you're interested in this, you can check below the video. We have it listed in our favorites, along with that wonderful repositional tape. So let's go ahead, get that laid down. We sure hope you take a moment and give us a thumbs up. We would appreciate it so much. And if you haven't already subscribed, subscribe to our channel. We post videos 2 days a week on Tuesday and Thursday, and we go live the first and third Thursday of the month. Now look at that. Look how pretty that is. Just love it. But we're not through yet. No. We're going to go ahead and add some DSP right there just to give it that beautiful background. So let's go ahead and do that. And we cut this as a first mat, so it is 5 1/4 by 4. Now, you need a place to write. So we always wait to measure this until the very end because we don't know exactly how far out our partial cut's gonna go. So we need to measure from here to here and go ahead and just put a white piece of paper. Now they could write on this side and they can also write on the back, but it's nice to go ahead and give additional room to write. So this is going to be about 2 3/4. By 5 1/4. And let's see if that works. Now we want to go ahead and cut this a little shorter because it is the second mat. So let's cut this at 5. And there we have it. You can't see it. We're ready to glue that down. Look at how pretty and how special this partial cutout looks. Looks so special. Our sunflower was just beautiful and really lends itself to be cut out partially. And we have one more. We went ahead and took this stamp set and cut it out. Look at that. We put it twice, put the leaves. You have to let us know which is your favorite. Please put your comment below. We would love to know. The Christmas, the sunflower, or the pumpkin. We hope you enjoyed this partial cutting Tuesday technique. We love this card. We want you to go out and make it a fantastic day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.